Colt Keith has been promoted to AAA.
Hallelujah.
Yes. What are we thinking? Did you think there was an actual chance he could go straight from AA to the majors, or is this the right move for the Tigers?
Oh, I think, you could kind of see the handwriting was on the wall that patience is going to be Scott Harris's MO. I think that there is something to the idea that they wanted Erie to qualify for the playoffs. People forget that, the Tigers don't own the Erie Seawolves. There's ownership groups in Erie, and they're going to make money by making the playoffs in the fall. So it's kind of a loyalty thing, I think, to keep some good players and get, once there's a chance at the playoffs, and get them in. So Erie made the playoffs now. They'll be in later this year. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Colt Keith moved pretty quickly thereafter. Chris did tell me that before the game got scratched yesterday that Keith was in the lineup to play in the field again because he had been DHing a lot. And there was the whispers about the arm problems. So if he is going to be back in the field, that's obviously a good sign. Hopefully it was just something short term. He had a sore arm and we move on. And it's not something lingering. Because obviously they want him to play defense and get better and take the reps and see where that goes. But it's going to be really interesting now to get him to Toledo. He's probably going to be the youngest guy in the league. He's going to be facing a lot of pitchers who have toyed around in the big leagues, which means, they have some big league experience. And he's probably going to see more breaking stuff than he saw at AA. We'll see how he does. It's going to be very fun. I don't think, as much as the Tigers, some of it, some people like to fantasize that they're in the division race. I don't think Detroit's going to play it that way. I think he's in Toledo probably for the rest of the year. If he gets a couple at bats at the end of the year in Detroit, that's fine.
Yeah, that would probably be the best case scenario as he continues to hit well in AAA, and maybe we see him at the end of the year. I do worry a little bit about his defense. I was listening to your guys' pod last week about the defensive concerns you have with him. Also, the defensive concerns of Justin Henry Malloy. Doesn't look like he could be a long-term option at third base, which is unfortunate because I was looking at, Keith and Henry Malloy as kind of like a platoon for the future. I don't really know if that's a realistic possibility anymore, but maybe Colt Keith gets some run at second base. Maybe he's a long-term DH. What were you thinking about that?
I would, I would say the only way he DH is if he has some kind of absolute chronic problem with his arm where he can't throw, and they can't stash him anywhere. Otherwise, a guy his age, they're going to find a defensive place to play for him someplace, whether it's right field, whether it's second base, even if it's first base. I mean, they'll find, if he hits, he'll play, right? And I think they'll want him in the field. We dissect these prospects every part of their game because we have a lot of time on our hands. That's what we do, right? But at the end of the day, if Colt Keith hits, he will play. If Justin Henry Malloy hits, he'll play. The defense is not going to keep him out of the lineup in Detroit someday if he can hit major league pitching and contribute to their offense. Their offense has been so poor, they will find a way to make it work, I would hope, no matter what weaknesses they may or may not have. And I think we might see Justin Henry Malloy in left field at some point.